Hello and welcome to Ontario Without Barriers, a channel where we discuss different resources for adults with physical disabilities. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Continuing on from last week's video, we will be discussing respiratory equipment and supplies, diabetic equipment and supplies, home oxygen therapy, internal feeding pumps, and ostomy supplies. To determine if you qualify for any of these equipment and supplies, please refer to the Access Granted video. Respiratory equipment and supplies. In order to qualify for respiratory equipment and supplies specifically, you must also have a disability requiring respiratory equipment and supplies for 6 months or longer and not be a resident of a long-term care home. Additionally, you must not be a patient of acute or chronic care hospital. What is covered? Through ADP, they help you cover the cost of cardiorespiratory monitoring and suction devices. For a full list of equipment and supplies covered as well as the funding coverage, a link is in the description. To apply, you have to be examined by a doctor or a nurse practitioner to determine eligibility. You must purchase the respiratory equipment and supplies through an approved ADP vendor. For a full breakdown of the application process, a link is in the description. In Ontario, if you are approved for respiratory equipment through ADP, you might be referred to the ventilator equipment pool. The VEP provides ADP approved clients with a direct access to equipment. The VEP reduces equipment costs through tendering for equipment purchases and more effective utilization of recycled equipment, and provides a facility for equipment maintenance and repair services. How to renew with ADP. Once you're approved for the first time, you have to renew with ADP every 2 years to continue receiving financial support for supplies. They will send you a renewal form 3 months before the renewal date. Diabetic equipment and supplies. What is covered? If you have type 1 diabetes and are not having success with multiple daily injections, they help cover the cost of an insulin pump and supplies. If you have type 1 diabetes and meet the specific medical eligibility criteria, they will provide coverage for real-time continuous glucose monitoring system. Replacement for insulin pumps. You can apply for a replacement pump if your medical condition has changed and the pump no longer meets your needs, or the pump is worn out, no longer under a 5-year warranty, and cannot be repaired at a reasonable cost. How much is covered? Unlike other ADP programs, the program provides 100% coverage of insulin pumps for up to a maximum of $2,400 a year. Full coverage for real-time glucose monitoring system and sensors and transmitters for up to a maximum per 24 months. To apply, get examined by a member of the Diabetic Education Program registered with ADP. To see a full breakdown of the application process, a link is in the description. You must renew ADP coverage for the supplies used with the real-time continuous glucose monitoring system every 2 years. You are advised to keep track of when your funding period expires and contact your vendor before the expiration date to ensure the renewal form is completed and returned to ADP. Home oxygen therapy. In order to qualify for home oxygen therapy specifically, you must meet medical eligibility criteria for oxygen therapy. What is covered? When you qualify for ADP, you can get help paying for home oxygen therapy. This includes oxygen, equipment, and supplies, delivery, setup, and maintenance. Your supplier will cover maintenance costs, repairs, and replacements. Who gets 100% coverage? You get 100% of the cost covered for home oxygen therapy if you are 65 or older or you live in a long-term care home. You receive social assistance benefits. You receive local professional services. To apply, see a doctor or nurse practitioner to have your blood oxygen level tested. For a full breakdown of the application process, a link is in the description. If you're an adult receiving home oxygen therapy through ADP, they will send your supplier a renewal form 2 months before the end of your program. For children, no renewal is required. Once approved for the first 12 months, your child will continue to receive home oxygen therapy until they are 19 years old. At that time, your child must renew annually as an adult. Internal feeding pumps and ostomy supplies. To qualify for internal feeding pumps and supplies, you must also have a physical disability requiring an internal feeding pump to maintain nutrition. You must need pump feeding for 6 hours per day and must not be a resident of a long-term care home. To qualify for ostomy supplies, you must also have your disability for at least 6 months and have one of the following types of permanent ostomies, such as colostomy, and ileostomy. For a full list of types of permanent ostomies, a link is in the description. With the addition of the disqualification criteria in the ADP video, you must not be a patient of acute or chronic care hospital. Internal feeding pumps and supplies. ADP will help cover the cost of internal feeding pumps and supplies, including feeding bags, tubes, and catheters, etc. However, they do not cover the cost of formula. Replacing internal feeding pumps. You can apply to replace an internal feeding pump when your medical condition has changed and the pump no longer meets your needs, or it is worn out, no longer under warranty, and cannot be repaired at a reasonable cost. To apply, see your doctor or nurse practitioner for an examination to confirm whether or not you need a pump and supplies. They may also refer you to a nutritional specialist. For a full breakdown of the application process, a link is in the description. Ostomy supplies. ADP will help cover the cost of supplies for permanent ostomies, including permanent colostomy and ileostomy. For a full list of supplies and amount covered, a link is in the description. To apply, see your doctor or nurse practitioner for examination to confirm you qualify for the financial support through ADP. For a full breakdown of the application process, a link is in the description. How to renew. You must renew your financial support every 2 years for ostomy supplies and internal feeding pumps and supplies. ADP does not provide funding to replace any items that were damaged or lost through neglect and misuse. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and turn on notifications. Tune in next week where we will discuss other resources for adults with physical disabilities.